I'm Barry Tramel, and I say Alabama is still the best team in college football.
Not me. I'm going with Oregon. From the Opubco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. News OK's Press Row is sponsored by Eskridge Lexus. Stop in and see them today. Barry, you're going with a one-loss Alabama team as the best team in college football?
Yeah, I didn't say they're going to be ranked number one. I didn't even say they should be ranked number one. But if you're asking me who's the best team, I say it's still Bama. Look what Alabama's done the last 3 weeks. They go to Arkansas and win a tight one. They come home and beat Florida in Tuscaloosa in a rout. Then they go back to South Carolina. You can't keep playing team after team after team that can beat you and win every week. We see that in the NFL. This is an NFL-type stretch that Alabama's playing. Any other team in college football, I think you give them that 3 stretches of games, they're not likely to come out 3-0. That's why I think Bama is probably still the number one team in the land.
We talked last week about that game, and we both thought that was going to be a tough game, but we both thought Alabama wins ultimately after what they had already shown. Obviously, South Carolina, tough place to play, tough place to win. Alabama found that out on Saturday. But I'm going with Oregon for a couple reasons. One, I think the win that they had at Tennessee, while Tennessee's not a fantastic team, we saw Tennessee push LSU to the brink, should have beat them, had 13 men on the field, the wins negated. Oregon went to Knoxville and really took it to Tennessee. And then in a home game, a much hyped game, Oregon really took it to Stanford. I think in those 2 games, you're starting to see just how good Oregon is, Barry. And I like Oregon. I think they're going to run the table, and I think they're going to be in the national championship conversation the rest of the season.
Well, I like Oregon, too, and they've done a very good job. That blowout at Tennessee was very impressive, and to come back and rout Stanford after getting way behind, very impressive, too. I just think week after week in the SEC, just because the fans of the SEC are kooky doesn't mean they're not right. SEC football is the best in the land, and when you have a stretch like Alabama's played, I think that really says a lot about your team. Now, I agree that Oregon has been very impressive. They got a chance to run the table. I think they've got a very tough game at the end of the year. They have to go to Corvallis, Oregon. Oregon State, very good this year. Oregon also goes to USC, so they're going to get their games. The one thing you can say about the Pac-10, it's a very deep conference this year. Yeah. I mean, it goes 6-7 teams deep, so Oregon will be tested on a regular basis. So I just think if you ask me right now, if I had to put my life on one team in college football to win, I'd take Alabama.
Well, and I think that this is a question we're going to be asking throughout the year. Who's the best team in college football? And even more broadly, who are the 2 best teams? Because obviously everybody's pointing towards that national championship game. And while it could all come out in the wash, and right now we're sitting here with, I believe it's 13 undefeated teams right now, and thinking, how is this all going to shake out? Maybe at the end of the year we're all going to go, oh, we see clearly these are the 2 best teams. But right now you could see Oregon running the table. You could see Alabama winning the rest of their games. And if they win the SEC championship game, I think they make an argument. Obviously Boise State and TCU have played their toughest games already. We'll have a few more tests as the year goes on, but not the toughest ones. I think these are the type of questions we're going to be battling with all year. I like Oregon, though. I think that they've really shown something already this season. If they continue to roll and you see them winning by big margins, I think they're a team that a lot of people maybe when the season started thought they'd never have a chance to play for the national championship. I think they'll be right there. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman. Remember, News OK's Press Row is sponsored by Eskridge Lexus. Stop in and see them today.